What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to go through my predictions for Game Week 29 in the Premier League. It's a short one, there's only 8 games. There's a Carabao Cup final as well, which I will do my prediction to at the end of the video. Everton West Ham. David Moyes' derby, you could say he left West Ham in the summer after the expiry of his contract. He's come to Everton now and he's been nothing short of sensational. Although Everton haven't really been winning games lately, they've drawn 3 in a row now, they've drawn 4 out of their last 5. But they are still unbeaten since his first game. West Ham had won 2 in a row before their disappointing defeat to Newcastle. Wasn't a lot in that game, they definitely could have got something, they probably should have had a couple of penalties. I don't think it's going to be a classic game, there's not going to be a lot in it. I've gone 1-1. Obviously Bowen's been very good since his return from injury, and then at Everton as well, you know, Beto, although he has cooled off a little bit lately, he could get a goal. They've obviously got big aerial threats from corners as well. Someone like Brownfoot could get on the score sheet. Ipswich against Nottingham Forest. Now, at the start of the season, a lot of people probably would have told you this was a relegation 6-pointer. But as it turns out, one of them is fighting for the Champions League. Nottingham Forest have been nothing short of sensational this season. And Ipswich have only won 1 home game all season. They were beaten at the City Ground 1-0. However, now we will see what Nottingham Forest are all about. They played really well against Manchester City and got a very well-deserved win. If they can beat Ipswich here, I think it's almost certain that they will be in the Champions League next season, and I've been backing them to do it. I've gone 3-1. The attack is hitting form now, like obviously Wood's been fantastic the whole season, but Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs-White as well, both been really good in recent weeks. Murillo will probably score in this game as well. I just have a feeling, I don't really know why, but obviously Ipswich do also have Liam Delap, who is a sensational striker and will definitely be in the Premier League next season. Whether that's Ipswich or not, we'll have to wait and see. Manchester City against Brighton. Man City lost in the South Coast early in the season. They bottled a 1-0 lead and Brighton were fantastic on that day. The Seagulls also in a really good run of form. They've won 6 in a row in all competitions, 4 in a row in the Premier League, and they have emerged in the Champions League race. They're only 1 point behind the Citizens thanks to this fantastic run of form they're on. And they've beaten some good teams there, Chelsea twice, they've beaten Newcastle as well, Bournemouth, even Fulham, who are still kind of in a European race. They're in a very good spot right now. Manchester City is still very inconsistent. 1 week they look like they could be back. The next week they look absolutely awful. They have only lost 3 home games all season in the Premier League, but they did lose their most recent home game in the league against Liverpool. However, I just don't think the Seagulls will be able to beat Manchester City at the Etihad. I have gone 3-2 Man City. I think it'll be a very close game though, but Brighton will make a mistake at the end of the game and Manchester City will score the winner in like 78th minute or something. Pep Guardiola has really been showing up this season, man. The way he's setting his team up every week is just awful, and Fabian Herzler, after getting battered by Nottingham Forest, has adapted and is doing really well. He's just the fetus in the management game, but hey, if he could outdo Guardiola again, it might be time for him to go, man, I can't lie. Southampton against Wolves, kind of a relegation 6-pointer, but not really. It's 20th against 17th, but Southampton are already down pretty much. Wolves, even with how bad they've been, are 6 points clear of the relegation zone, which is a bit mad. Cunha is still suspended though, and for that reason I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Southampton have to get some points, man, because they might beat that derby record, bro. It could happen. And yeah, Wolves do have other good players, you know. Guedes has been decent, Bellegarde has been very good in recent weeks in my opinion, and obviously their midfield is good with Andre and Gomez. But without Cunha, it could be a bit long for them. Paul Onuachu to score for Southampton again. Bournemouth against Brentford. 2 teams having very good seasons. Bournemouth obviously fighting for Europe, Brentford in mid-table after a very disappointing season last year from their point of view. Bournemouth on a bit of a tricky run of form. They haven't won any of the last 3 and they've lost 2 of those. Kepa has started to turn back into the Kepa that we all know from Chelsea. He was having a good season, but he has recently just gone off it again. And they've learned that Travers, so they can't even drop him really. But at home, you know, with the form of players like Clivert and Evan Nilsson being back as well, I'm backing Bournemouth to get the job done. Brentford's good away run will come to an end as they lose 3-1 at the Vitality. And Mbemo v Kirkes will be a very interesting matchup. Obviously, probably the best left back in the league. It's one of the best right wingers in the league this season. Arsenal against Chelsea, the first North West London derby. Chelsea have only beaten Arsenal once this decade. I'm almost halfway through it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have been awful against the Gunners. And even though Arsenal don't have many attacking options, I'm backing them to beat Chelsea. I've gone 2-1. Maresca has shown very little tactical flexibility. I feel like it's quite easy to play against Chelsea, although Fofana being back is huge. He has to be fit for their sakes, otherwise they have absolutely no chance of getting anything. Cole Palmer's been really off it, which obviously doesn't help because he's been Chelsea's only real good player apart in the attacking area at least. Obviously, especially with Jackson's injury, there's not a whole lot. Sancho's been far too inconsistent. Neto playing up front. It's not his position, is it? And at the Emirates, I don't see Chelsea winning. I mean, they could barely beat Copenhagen, do you know what I mean? Like, Arsenal wiped floor. And Fulham Tottenham, the other North v West London derby. Tottenham did get through in the Europa League. They could be a bit fatigued. I wouldn't anticipate them risking a lot of the players that played, considering how many injuries they've already got this season. I'd guess there'd be a lot of changes from that Tottenham team. And on this day, when the game's going to be played, last year, these two met at the Cottage and Fulham won 3-0. Hopefully, that doesn't happen again. But I don't think Tottenham are going to win. I've gone 1-1. I think Fulham will completely dominate the match. And Postecoglou completely out of his depth. Worst manager in the league apart from Van Nistelrooy. Silva will teach him a lesson, but Fulham won't be able to take their chances. Vicario will make a lot of good saves and Tottenham will score with one of their only opportunities. But realistically for Tottenham, there's no point even trying in the league. They're not going to go down, but they're also probably not going to get a European spot unless they win every game till the end of the season. And that's not going to happen given how bad they've been and how bad the manager is. So they might as well just put all their eggs in the Europa League basket. Don't risk Van de Ven. Leicester v Manchester United. Leicester City, awful. They've lost, 12 out of the last 13 or something mental like that. Ruud van Nistelrooy, obviously formerly of Manchester United, he'll do anything he can to give them a win because he is absolutely awful, man. How can you bench your best player every week? What has Buonanotte done to him, bro? At this point, I'm convinced that Ruud van Nistelrooy walked in on Facundo Buonanotte shagging his wife because there is no other reason to treat him this badly. Because without him, Leicester would have no points this season. Manchester United also got through in the Europa League. Like with Tottenham, they have nothing to play for in the league now. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get into a European spot by the league. They might as well put everything in that Europa League basket. Leicester have lost their last 6 home league games in a row without scoring a single goal. I do think they'll get on the score sheet. I don't really know why, but I do think they will get one. But Manchester United will get 2. Since Amarim's come in, their home form has been atrocious, but they have been okay on the road at times. If they don't, it would be very concerning. But it's also sort of a game where you maybe back Leicester because Manchester United have nothing to play for. Leicester are fighting for their lives. If they had a manager that knew what he was doing and played their best player, I would have probably backed Leicester to get this done because they do have some decent attacking players. But unfortunately their manager doesn't play them, so they don't really have a chance. The Carabao Cup final prediction quickly as well. Liverpool were humbled by PSG in midweek. Brilliant win for the Parisians, fully deserved as well. Newcastle could take advantage of that. Liverpool might be a bit rattled. I hope Newcastle win because I want Eddie Howe to win a trophy and I do like Newcastle more than Liverpool. A lot more players in the squad I like. It's either going to end 4-0 Liverpool or 2-1 Newcastle, and I'm back in the Geordies. They're going to put right what went wrong 2 years against Manchester United, and they're going to come home with the trophy, the first domestic honour in 70 years. Away the lads. Those are my predictions this week. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.